Brandon with Davidson Audio again, and we are here in beautiful Panama City, Florida at
Indian Motorcycle, Panama City Beach.
Thank you, other Brandon. That is where we're at, and huge thank you to this dealership for allowing us to come out here and check out these new bikes. And today we're going to be discussing the 2025. Not me, other Brandon. The brand new 2025 Indian Chieftain and 2025 Indian Roadmaster PowerPlus models. So Bill and I are going to go take these things for a super nice long ride from here right on outside to give you guys the lowdown of what we see different and show you what's up. Holy Toledo, it sounds like a Challenger. All right, let's talk about the 2025 Indian Chieftain with the PowerPlus 112, Indian Roadmaster with a PowerPlus 108. What are my thoughts on these bikes off of initial reaction? I love it. I think, and this is something that Bill and I have been joking around about taking a Challenger and putting a Chieftain fairing on it. And please, just because I say this, I'm not discrediting Indian or playing down all of the modifications that they did, because after the videos I've seen of this and whatnot, Indian's done a lot to this. So don't take what I'm about to say as putting them down, because again, huge kudos on Indian on these bikes. It's a Challenger in a Pursuit with Chieftain fairings on them. And that's not to downplay it, because there's more that goes into it, like redesigning an entire fairing, putting all that technology in there. You're essentially trying to create two bikes with two different electronic systems up front. And after initially looking at this fairing has more characteristics of the Challenger than it does the Chieftain. So, I mean, we can all sit here and be like, oh, they only did this, they only did that. Let's be honest, like, this took engineers a while to make this happen. And again, kudos to Indian, like, y'all did a great job on this bike. So real quick, let's come over to the side of the bike, and just real quick, I mean, as y'all know from our previous videos, from here back we have a Challenger or Pursuit. It's essentially the same bike. If you look at the Roadmaster over here, you'll see the new these are the same Pursuit lowers that have been on there. So literally from the neck back, it's essentially the same bike. The real big difference is the fairing and what's going on underneath that, and that's what I really want to focus on. So if you're looking for overview videos of every single square inch of this, it's not going to be this video. But one quick thing we will touch on, the 112 PowerPlus. I think that's a phenomenal OEM option. Everybody's been like, oh, well, you know, it's an OEM, you can get cheaper aftermarket. Yeah, you might be able to. But the fact that this is already in here, and from what I've talked about with Hoonies and some other companies, to get the most out of this, it might just be a quick, simple piston swap, tune, and send it, and this would be a monster. But time will tell on what happens with that. I just think it's a super awesome concept now that Indian's bringing that 112 big bore kit to market. This is the same big bore kit they're running on King of the Baggers. So we know it's tried and true. They work, they hold up great. I'm just curious to see what people can do with these with just simply tuning it and exhaust and an intake. I think they'll still be monsters. I'm sure we'll see a lot of those videos coming up. let's go to the back of these bikes, because that's where the big difference is on not just the 2025 Chieftain and Roadmaster PowerPluses, but you can get it in the Thunderstroke versions, and the Challengers and Pursuits also have it. So that's where you're going to look for. It's actually not on this one. It comes standard with the 112s. It's this box right here. And what that is this is essentially the sensor for what we talked about in our previous video on these models for blind spot and rear end detection. So this is going to be our sensor that's going to sense all of that. So if someone's coming up on you, they're tailgating you, it's going to flash the lights. It's going to let you know. If somebody comes flying up on you, it's going to also alert you that. Or somebody's hanging out in your blind spot, it's going to alert you. And you may ask, well, how is it going to alert me? Well, that's where these nice fancy dancy mirrors right here, Indian incorporated turn signals right here, indicators. So when that happens, these are going to illuminate amber to alert you, the rider, like, hey, something's coming up on you. And now let's discuss this inner dash area. Completely redesigned for this model. I kind of have I don't even know if I'd call it a love-hate. I like it, but also I don't know. It's just something with this being so wide and narrow and the screen being so small. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. Time will tell with actually getting them out there, riding them. It may be something like the Challenger. Some people didn't like them. Some people really dig it. And some people just took time to grow into. So I don't know, off initial glance, I don't know, it kind of makes it seem like really wide and narrow. Almost kind of like a Hey Arnold head. In my way, if you think about it, kind of, you know, nice and narrow and wide. For all of you that were 90 babies, you understand what I'm saying. So it's got the same windshield and everything. One thing that I am a little disappointed with, but I'm not going to, you know, get too crazy into it, is the glove box. Looks like it's gotten a lot smaller here. I'm sure once we get more footage of these being torn apart and the fairing being taken off, we'll be able to see more in here what's going on. But off initial glance, it kind of stinks that that's so small. Let's see if we can even get an iPhone in here. Okay, iPhone 16 Pro Max fits in there, so I guess that's about all you would ever want to put in there. So Indian, it works. Good job. Real quick right here, let's go to the screen. You can see here the tailgate warning, blind spot, and bike hold features. So you can turn all these off or back on. And actually, we're going to back up. Let's look at the mirrors, and you'll see real quick. Just look at the mirror. That's that indicator. So that way you know it works. Now what I do want to know is if I leave these off, because I know with traction control, they'll come back on automatically. So I'm curious, let's see if that comes back on. And they stay off. So that's really cool. A lot of these safety features, you'll turn them off and we cycle the power, they come back on, but that's awesome that they stay off or on. So super cool. Let's go to the front of the bike. Oh, actually, let's do that. Go to the front. Okay, these are just running lights. They are not turn signals. So let's fire this bad boy up and see how they look. There you go. I think that's a super sleek. In my honest opinion, it literally looks like they took an Indian Challenger fairing, scrunched it down, and put those same side daytime running lights back in there. Let's see if they stay on with the high beam. Yeah, they stay on with the high beam. That's slick. A lot of companies will shut those off. I mean, really tried and true. I'm digging the look of it. I think I like the look of it from the front a lot more than the back. I will just say real quick, I already know people are going to say it. They're going to be like, oh, Indian copied Harley's new Street Glide, and then we can go back and be like, oh, Harley copied the Challenger with the new Road Glide. To be honest with you, I don't care. I don't care. You can look across the entire market, cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, side-by-sides. They all share a resemblance. They all have things that make them look somewhat alike. I don't really care. What I do care about is that the consistent push for innovation is pushing companies to have to change things up, to have to do it. And that being said, I'm super excited to see with the new Harleys, the 23.5s and newers, that big old infotainment system. So if we look back at the history, and I will be bold enough to say the Indian Challenger really pushed Harley to do what they did now. So now if Harley's coming out that big old infotainment center, what is that going to do to Indian? Indian's going to have to do something. So I'm really curious to see what the next year or two looks like for that. But you know what? As soon as that happens, Davidson Audio will be buying one so that we can tear it apart and be the first to market on a completely aftermarket system for it. But anyways, one thing I almost forgot, and it's actually not on this one, it's an accessory, may come with the Roadmasters, is over here. Side louvers. And those are not thin, those things are stout. So, you know, all you Ricer fans out there, don't put canard wings on your spoiler, you're good to go. I like that feature. That reminds me back of the Victory days with Victory Cross Countries. A lot of people put these on here to help with wind buffering. So that's super sleek that they got these on here. I'm guessing this is gonna be a standard feature for the Roadmasters, but not the Chieftains. And again, if I were to buy one, I'm gonna buy a Roadmaster because I wanna be able to take these accessories off. If you go out and price point a Chieftain versus a Roadmaster, and then you add all the accessories to this, you're the same price, if not more. So I'm always a component, just go ahead and buy the Roadmaster and then strip it down to a Chieftain if you so choose. But I will tell you, an 8-speaker Roadmaster with 6.5-inch Davidson audio lowers sounds phenomenal. Not gonna say which dealership's gonna be the first one to do it. We're already working with them and we're gonna have a kit out very, very soon. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. I know I like to ramble on a lot, but I'm super excited for what Indian Motorcycle is doing. Again, this is not just a simple, hey, let's take an Indian Challenger, take the fairing off and slap something new on it. Indian not only added a Chieftain fairing to the bare bones of a highly performing Indian Challenger bike, but they completely redesigned the fairing. They took so much stuff and redid it to make this bike. Again, huge kudos to Indian. I'm super excited to be a business owner that's trying to push this brand when a company that owns the brand is continuing to innovate as well. Super excited. I'm also excited to see what y'all do with the new infotainments, because I know Harley came up there, so it's gonna push y'all to do it. I'm gonna be excited to see that. But 2025 Chieftain Roadmaster PowerPluses 112, 108, great job. I can't wait to get out. I'm gonna rent one of these when they're available for a week to test it out, see how I like it. We'll do a video on that later, but for now, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Indian of Panama City Beach, Florida, for allowing us to come out here, take these bikes outside, look over them, ride them around the parking lot and see what's up with them. Thank you all so much. We love our relationship with y'all. So I'm Brandon with Davidson Audio, located here in beautiful Panama City, Florida, not the beach, Panama City. Over there, if you're looking for the best aftermarket audio solution for your Indian, Harley, Victory, motorcycle period, or your car, truck, slingshot, make sure you come check us out. We would be more than happy to help you all out. God bless all of you. Have an amazing day, and guess what? Ride safe.